Alright, hello everybody, and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. I am Craig, and happy to have you here on another Game Night 15 game day for the RNL 2015 set. Happy to have you here. We've got a fun, albeit between two teams that Can you hear me now? Hey, there we go. Welcome into the RNGIDP channel, and welcome into Game Day 15, another matchup. This is the fourth in the AL for Game Day 15. This will be between the Tampa Bay Man-Team against the Houston Castform. Look forward to bringing it to you here on the RNGIDP channel. I'm Craig, and welcome into the broadcast. Tonight we are having two good offensive teams that just haven't had a timely hitting. Houston and Tampa. Tampa comes into the ball game. They won their last game. They went to Los Angeles and beat the Clefable 4-3. While Houston comes into the ball game being blanked by Toronto 2-0. Houston's dropped 2 in a row now and looking to get back on track here at home against Tampa. The pitcher for Houston will be Dan Herron. Herron has, let's take a look at his numbers before we meet the lineup for Tampa. Houston will send out Dan Herron. He's gone 13 1/3 innings. That's 2 starts worth. He's given up 9 hits. He doesn't have a record yet. 3 earned runs is all. He's struck out 12 and only walked 1. That's a 2.03 ERA and a 0.75 whip. So Herron has been pretty good, but unfortunate in those 2 starts not to get a victory. And so Herron looking to get some run support from his team in Houston. They are injury-free so far. Both of these teams are injury-free, and so they'll be at their best. And Dan Herron will face this lineup for Tampa Bay. They are changing it up again this week, just trying to get that offense rolling. They scored 4 runs in their last game, but looking to get things better. Colton Wong at the top of the lineup hasn't been all that great. He's 9 for 51, which is a 176 batting average. He does have 5 doubles, but no triples, no home runs yet. He's got 1 RBI, and he struck out 9 times. Brandon Crawford moves to the 2 spot. Crawford is hitting 286, so looking to get a little bit more production out of the 2 spot, so they move him up in the lineup. He does have 3 homers, so lefty, and now in the 3 spot it'll be Chris Bryant. He's hitting 178 is Chris Bryant. He does have 2 doubles and 3 home runs, accounting for his 5 of his 8 hits. Manny Machado is the cleanup man. He's the 3rd baseman. 255 for him with a home and 7 RBI. Jason Worth is moving up to the 5th spot. He's 3 for 14. He's been in and out of the lineup, and he does have a homer. Hanley Ramirez moves way up. He's in the 6th spot tonight, the DH. Ramirez is batting 240 with a pair of doubles. Gerardo Parra has been all over the lineup for Tampa throughout the season. He's in the 7th spot tonight. He's only hitting 176 and not doing so well. He's only got a homer and 4 RBIs. Randall Grichuk is struggling as well. You sensing a theme? He's hitting 170. He doesn't have any homers and only 2 RBI. And in the 9th spot will be Derek Norris, who, if you look at the averages, Norris is hitting 273. Right now, that's 2nd on the team behind Crawford. Norris is 12 for 44 with 4 doubles and 5 homers. 5 homers is the team leader. Out of those 5 homers, though, only 6 RBI. So that's how Tampa will line up. Happy to have you here this evening on a snowy and freezing cold day here in Colorado. I believe the wind chill is something like minus 15, minus 20 something right now. It's freezing cold. But I'm warm here in the house and happy to have you here with me. The statistician is here with me, and Mike McAllister. Mike McAllister, thanks for the sub today, and thanks for joining me here on the live stream. I think we're ready now to roll. Colton Wong steps in to face Dan Herron. And the pitch to the lefty. This is going to be a base hit. It'll be hit out to center field. It bounces in front of the center fielder, Brett Gardner. And Wong is aboard with a leadoff single. Just underway here. Colton Wong gets the game started with a leadoff single. And because we're here, let's take a look. Rene Rivera is the catcher for Houston. His arm is a -2. Colton Wong is a B stealer. They are going to hold him. So it would be a 1-10, -2 for the arm. So a 1-8. Now Red Sox fan and Jerry Ball here. Brandon Crawford now with Colton Wong aboard. Wong stays close to the bag. And Brandon Crawford up to the 2 spot today, and he swings and misses. And there's a strikeout. Now Chris Bryant, who's hitting below 200, surprisingly. His card is 275 with 26 homers. Definitely not doing that. And this will be a 2-7. This one's hit over to second base. This could be a double play ball. The second baseman today for Houston is Anthony Rendon. He's a 3-range second baseman. We rolled an 8. A 3-8 is going to go to his E rating. We rolled a 5. He's an E12. A 5, so Rendon making a spot start at second. And he gets to the ball, but he boots it. And everybody's going to be safe. It didn't get far from Rendon, but just enough for Colton Wong to get to second base, and for Chris Bryant hustling down the line to get on board at first. So now there's 2 men on the error from Anthony Rendon, and it will be Manny Machado, the third baseman, the slugger, looking to bring these runs home. 1 out. Dan Herron in a little trouble here in the first. And it's a 3-8. And he gets Manny Machado looking. Second strikeout for Herron, and that's a big one right there. Now there's 2 down, and it'll be Jason Worth at the plate. Jason Worth, the left fielder, batting 5th. He's got Wong at second. Chris Bryant reached on an error. He's at first. And this is a good column for Worth. A 2-7. And he draws a 2-out walk. That'll push the runners up a bag. Wong trots down to third. And Chris Bryant makes his way to second. And here we go. We've got bases loaded for the DH, Hanley Ramirez. Before we get any runs scored, make sure you put your wagers. I guess you could call it wagers. Put your who you're rooting for in the comments. Tampa or Houston? Tampa, they sit 13th in the AL. 13 out of 15 teams at 5. Houston is comfortably in 6th. They're 7-6. Here we go. Dan Herron versus Hanley Ramirez. DH day, and this is a 5-8. And he hits one hard, but out to center field. Brett Gardner and his good wheels are going to get to it. And that'll end the threat. And Tampa leaves the bases loaded here in the top of the first. So Herron wiggles out of the jam, partially caused by the error on his defense and his second baseman today, Anthony Rendon. But no harm done, and we move to the bottom of the first. Andrew Kashner is the pitcher for Tampa Bay. and we'll take a look at his numbers. And before we do, let's check a look at the live stream. Jerry Ball says, "Go Houston." Al Red Sox fan is taking the other side, saying Tampa. So we've got some disparity in the chat, and that's always good. And so Tampa will send to the mound the bearded one, Andrew Kashner. He has had one start. It was a pretty good one, a 9-inning win. You could call it a shutout win because he didn't give up any runs, a 6-hit shutout. He struck out 6, and he only walked 1. And the lineup for Houston looks a little something like this today. And Houston is juggling their lineup as well, looking to get some offense created. Brett Gardner is back in the lineup. Not sure how long it'll be before he gets injured again. But he's 10 for 32 in his limited time. He's got 3 doubles and a homer and a stolen base. Carlos Beltran is the designated hitter and hitting in the 2 spot, the switch hitter. And Beltran is 10 for 31 with a double and a homer. So Gardner and Beltran hitting about the same right now. And they're in front of the 3rd spot, Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Bogaerts is hitting .364, 20 hits and 55 at-bats with a pair of homers as well. Justin Turner moves all the way up to the cleanup spot, thanks in part to his .361 batting average so far with a pair of doubles and a pair of homers. He's been hot, so he moves up. Anthony Rendon gets the start today at second base. Stephen Drew has just been struggling all season. He's at .180 as batting average, so Anthony Rendon is playing second base and hitting 5th, and we already saw him make an error in the lineup or in the outfield today. Torrey Hunter is the veteran right fielder, hitting in the 6th spot. .259 for him on his average. 6 doubles for the old man. He's still booking it down the line. Mark Reynolds is the first baseman in the 7th spot. Reynolds doing his Reynolds thing. He's at about .205 for his average with a couple homers and 6 strikeouts. Melky Cabrera moves way down the lineup. The switch hitter has been not doing so well with the stick. .170 for the Milkman. 9 hits and 53 at-bats. So he moves to the 8th spot, only in front of the catcher, Rene Rivera, who had to be in the lineup. One of the catchers did. Drew Butera is 1 for 15. Rene Rivera is 5 for 23. So we go with him today, and that will round out the order. Mike McAllister says he's going for the team who wins. Well, you'll have to wait about another 40 minutes here as we're just getting started. Houston with their first turn at the plate. Brett Gardner leads it off. And it'll be a 4-8. This could be a single, a 1-13 chance, and it'll be a single. It's a 9, so Brett Gardner, just as Colton Wong did, leads off his half with a single. Gardner's a little bit better of a stealer. He's an A-rated stealer. Derek Norris is only a -1 arm, so they are going to hold Brett Gardner at first. So a 1-15 becomes a 1-13, and it becomes a 1-12 because of the arm. So a 1-12, would they send Gardner? No, they're not going to send him. Beltran is up. He steps in from the left-hand side. And he sees the pitch, and maybe they should have sent him because this one has bounced to Machado at first. The slick fielding third baseman wheels it to Crawford and over to Bryant, and it's a 5. Well, I said Crawford, but it was the second baseman, Wong. A 5-4-3 double play. So the leadoff single is erased. Beltran grounds into a double play. And per usual, nobody's on base for Xander Bogaerts. And he's been doing a lot of the damage with nobody on base. His batting average is pretty good right now. And he's going to get aboard with a single. After 14 games, I've kind of gotten a feel as to what these teams are. If you're new to the channel, I completely randomized these squads. So it took a while, and I feel like I'm finally starting to get a feel for these teams and their strengths and weaknesses. And Houston, they just can't get any guys on for the guys that are actually hitting. Justin Turner is one of those men that are hitting. Will he continue it here? He's now back-to-back with Bogarts. It probably took a little too long to make that decision, but he hits one out to left field. This is a left field X chance. Jason Worth is out there, and he's a left field 4. A 4-16 is going to be a good catch from Worth. His hair flowing and his mane blowing in the wind, and he still makes the catch. And so Jason Worth makes the third out here, and we are through 1. Houston doesn't score, and we move to the second. Tampa will have their chance with the 7, 8, 9 batters of Parra, Grichuk, and Norris. Happy to have you along here for the RNGIDP channel's RNL 2015 randomized set. And Gerardo Parra is the batter. And this one is an N home run. Gerardo Parra is normal, and so he goes yard, way yard. A leadoff homer for Parra. And Tampa jumps out to a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second. I wasn't expecting that. Gerardo Parra just yarded one. Not even having a roll. Not even a split chance. So it's Randall Grichuk now. Grichuk, this is a strikeout. So Heron gets back on track after the leadoff homer, and there's one out here. Derek Norris, nobody on, one out. Norris has been hitting pretty well, and this one has a chance for a single, 1-13, and that'll be another single for Derek Norris, who just keeps plugging away from the 9 spot. Maybe he should get moved up in the order. So there's one away. Derek Norris, the slow runner at first. He's a D stealer, a 1-11 runner. Colton Wong, not a great hitting runner, so they're just going to let him hit away. It's a 2-4, and he skies one up to the first base side. The first baseman, Mark Reynolds, even though some people think he's blind, he's going to make the grab, and that will be the first out, or the second out. Excuse me. Derek Norris tracks back to the bag and makes it back safely. So Brandon Crawford now with 2 outs. The catcher, Derek Norris, on first. He reached on a single. And the lefty Crawford, he skies one high out to center field. Brett Gardner tracking it down, and that'll be the third out. Tampa, though, leads off with a homer from Gerardo Parra, and they take the lead here in the second inning. We move to the bottom half, and Houston will send up the 5, 6, 7 batters of Rendon, Hunter, and Reynolds. Rendon hasn't had many plate appearances this season. He's just 3 for 10. So in those appearances, he's done all right, and he gets the start today. I believe this may be his first start on the season. And he bounces one to his opposite number. That's Colton Wong. And Wong charges on it and sidearms one over to first. And there's one quick away here. Jerry Ball remarking on that Parra home run. Wow, out of here. Cashner now quickly to Torrey Hunter, and a little too quickly, goes wild, and there's a walk. Torrey Hunter is aboard for Mark Reynolds. Hunter is a station-to-station runner at this point. He's a D stealer. I guess he's all right. He's a 13 runner. But he's not taking off here. A moderate lead. And Mark Reynolds is going to put one out to the left field. And that's going to bounce and hit the wall. And that's going to be a double. Torrey Hunter, he's got some wheels left in the tank. He picks up his third base coach. Will he get sent here with one out? Let's take a look. He's a 1-13. That was hit to left field where Jason Worth is. He's a 0 arm. So 13, they're not holding the veteran Hunter. He's a D stealer. So it'll be a 13 plus 0 for the arm, +1, so 14. A 1 to 14, and they're going to send him. So Torrey Hunter, he rounds third, and he'll be sent. It's an 18. Jason Worth guns him out at home. The old man Hunter ran out of steam, and he will be the second out on the inning. So Reynolds doubled. Hunter trying to score all the way from first. Just ran out of steam. The throw came from Worth all the way through to Derek Norris, and Norris blocked the plate and made the tag, and there's 2 away. Reynolds still at second, though, for Melky Cabrera. Cabrera from the left-hand side will get the pitch, and he just gets under it. This is a pop-up out to the shortstop, Crawford. Crawford barely has to move and closes the glove, and that will be it here for Houston in the second, and they do not score. The defense helping Cashner out to get out of the jam, and Dan Herron makes his way back up to the plate, to the mound I should say, and he'll face Chris Bryant, Manny Machado, and Jason Worth. Bryant reached on an error. Mr. Hunter, you are out. The bench is over there. Go take a seat. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have sent him, but he was a 1 to 13. It was a 1 to 14 roll. That's not terrible odds. Chris Bryant reached on the error from Rendon his last time, and this time he gets caught looking. That's the 4th strikeout so far for Dan Herron. Whoa, Mike McAllister says he rolled his first no-hitter last night, doing a 1986 APA Master Replay. Bud Black, 26 batters and 2 walks. Nice. There was one, I can't remember it. Steve on Twitter, I don't remember his YouTube handle. He would know better because he's been following this league pretty closely. I think I had a 1-hitter, and I don't remember who it was with. I had a 1-hitter, but the hit came really early, so there was no drama to it, but there definitely was a 1-hitter in this league. So Machado with 1 out, he struck out his first time. And this one is going to be lifted to center. It's shallow, and Brett Gardner has to charge for it quickly, but he will make the play, and there's 2 outs. Jason Worth now, he walked his first time. Herron settling into a groove here, and Worth hits one to the shortstop. That's Xander Bogaerts. He's a pretty good defender out there. He's a shortstop 2 range. This one might be a tough chance. It may go to his E rating. A shortstop 2, a 10 is going to go to his E rating. We rolled a 5, so he has to go deep into the hole. Xander Bogaerts is an E12, a 5. So Bogaerts ranges deeply into the hole, makes a strong throw off the jump, and he's able to get Worth by a step. And that will end the inning there. A web gem, if you want to remember if that's still what they call them, a web gem to end the inning here. So Herron has a 1-2-3 inning, and we move to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Rene Rivera, his first at bat, and then we move to the top of the order. Brett Gardner and Carlos Beltran. Rivera has not been good behind the plate. Well, at the plate. Behind the plate, he's been fine. A 4-7, and there's that number again. A 4-7, a 1-3, and it's a single. And he gives the third base Machado, flashing the leather there, and he's got plenty of time to make the strong throw across the diamond, and it's 1 out. Brett Gardner now. He's led off with a single in the first, and he sees the pitch from Cashner, and he doesn't swing, but it's called a strike, and that is strike 3, the first strikeout for Cashner, and there's 2 quickly away. Carlos Beltran with nobody on. Against the righty, this one is bounced over to Machado as well. Machado has this one a little bit more cleanly, and he throws it across the diamond. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cashner. These pitchers are starting to heat up. And Dan Herron comes back out after he's retired 5 straight. He'll face Hanley Ramirez, who lifted one up to center and was caught by Brett Gardner. It's a 6-4. This one is a catcher X. The catcher is Rivera. He's a 3 range. A 3-15 is going to be a foul out. So Hanley Ramirez gets under it. There's plenty of room for Rivera, and he makes the grab behind the plate for the first down. So we move back to Gerardo Parra. Parra had a home run his first time up, the only run of the game so far. A 2-11, and he's going to dribble one over to first. Mark Reynolds will scoop it, and he's just going to step on the bag. And there's 2 away. Randall Grichuk now, he struck out his first time. 5-5, and he gets underneath this one, pops it way high in the sky, and Xander Bogaerts will make the play. The Heron is rolling here through the 4th. That is 8 straight sat down by Heron, and we move to the bottom of the 4th. Andrew Cashner will face Xander Bogaerts, Justin Turner, and Anthony Rendon. Bogaerts singled, and here he is again. It's a 2-10. A 2-10 is a ballpark single chance here in Houston. That's not an easy go about it. It's a 1-6 for the right-hander, and we rolled a 7, so he's just robbed of a hit from the jumping Brandon Crawford. Bogaerts thought he lifted one just over his head, but Crawford's got more hops than he thought, and he's able to get to that one. Justin Turner now, he hit one out to left field, and he's 0 for 1. It's a 6-3. This one's hit right back to Cashner. Will he be able to make a play on it? He is an, let's see here, a 3-range pitcher. Pitcher 3 with an 8. That's in going to his E rating. He's an E8, and we rolled an 8. E8 rolled an 8. So Cashner's able to knock it down. It bounces in front of the mound, but he's able to scoop it and fire it over to first just in time to get Justin Turner. And there is the second out. So Anthony Rendon now, moving quite quickly tonight. Here in the 4th, Rendon, and he will swing right through that pitch. And Cashner has himself a 1-2-3 inning as well. So he's matching wits with Dan Herron on the other side. But Tampa is still clinging to the 1-0 lead thanks to the home run from Gerardo Parra back to lead off the 2nd inning. Dan Herron will face the 9, 1, and 2 batters of Norris, Wong, and Crawford. Norris singled off of him his first time up. Here he is. He hits one to short, and Bogaerts will have no trouble with this one with the catcher running. Takes an extra few steps, taps the glove a couple extra times, and throws a seed across the diamond. Colton Wong now, and this is a good roll for Wong. And it's a 1. A 1 will be a double. The rest is a single. And this will be a single. That's the 2nd hit for Wong. 2 singles on the day. He's 2 for 3. So with 1 out, it'll be Brandon Crawford. Crawford is 0 for 2. He struck out. And Crawford, the lefty, Crawford, the lefty, with a ballpark home run chance. Will it fly? Crawford, a 1-13, and this will be a 2-run shot. It's a 12, so it's up and over the wall. Brandon Crawford drives Wong home, and it's 3-0. Tampa showing a little power here. Crawford sends one over the wall, and Tampa has a 3-0 lead. Adios pelota. Brandon Crawford sends one out of here. Chris Bryant now. Bryant is 0 for 2. Dan Herron had retired 9 straight. The whole second time through the order, he had gotten them in order. But Wong, on the third time, singled. Crawford homered, and there's one out here in the top of the 5th. Chris Bryant now would like a little bit of that power surge. He hits one to left. The left fielder is Melky Cabrera. Melky is a 3-range left fielder. And so a 3-7 will be a diving catch from Cabrera. Didn't think he was going to get to that ball, but he made up the ground right at the last few feet, and he makes a diving grab to save a hit from Chris Bryant. And Chris Bryant's got to think, what do I got to do to get a hit these days? Cabrera with the second out. And I lost my thumbtack that keeps my sheet up on the wall. And I don't really want to step on it, so hang on while I try and find that. And I don't see it, so of course I'm going to step on it when I get up. And I'll have to put that there. Okay. So Bryant is away. There's 2 down. Manny Machado with the bases empty. 2 runs already scored this inning on the home run from Brandon Crawford. Machado is 0 for 2. And he'll be 0 for 3 as he bounces this one to Rendon. Rendon is charging on it and fires it over to first. And that'll be the 3rd out. But in the 5th, Tampa scores 2 more. And it's a 3-0 ball game. Andrew Kashner now here in the bottom of the 5th. He'll face Torrey Hunter, Mark Reynolds, and Melky Cabrera. This is where he ran into a little trouble back in the 2nd. Hunter walked, and Reynolds doubled. Should have scored, but a nice throw from Jason Worth got him out at the plate. And this will be Hunter's 2nd time up to the bat. This one is hit over to Wong at second base. This is a 15x chance. Wong is a 2-range second baseman. A 215 is going to be a clean play. Wong gets down and dirty, but he makes the play from his knees, and Hunter is the first out of the 5th inning here. Jerry Ball says, just like Herron. Yeah. He tends to serve it up every once in a while. And Mark Reynolds doubled this first time against Kashner. And this time he'll hit one out to right field, but Gerard Opara is tracking it down. And there's 2 away quickly here. Andrew Kashner is not, if you look at his card, he went 6 wins and 16 losses on this card. 4.34 ERA. You'd think it'd be a little bit higher with 16 losses. He does have 165 strikeouts on the card and 185 innings. So he can give up some runs, but here he's been pitching pretty well. He's retired 9 in a row, and now Melky Cabrera he popped up to the shortstop his first time out. This time it's a ground ball to second, and Wong will throw him out at first. So another 1-2-3 inning for Kashner. to the top of the 6th. It's a 3-0 ball game. Jerry Ball says tack delay. Yeah, you'll know if all of a sudden I scream if I step on that tack while I'm playing this game. I'm worried that that's going to happen because you can't see it, but the carpet where I'm at is like kind of a light brown, and the tack was one of those clear ones, and there's not a lot of light back here, and so it's impossible to see it unless I get a flashlight out and get down on the floor. There's no way I'm going to be able to find this. So Jason Worth will lead off here in the top of the 6th. He's the number 5 in the lineup. It'll be Worth, Ramirez, and Parra. Dan Herron is back out there, but his leash is not going to be that long. We've got Brandon Maurer, Kevin Quackenbush, and Junichi Tazawa. They all could come into the game from the right-hand side. Ross, Hardy, and McGee from the left-hand side. And Tanner Rourke is the long man. He's been pretty good. We've used him in some short situations as well. And so Herron has gotten Worth to ground out to short, and he's also walked him. So Worth with a ground ball to second. And that'll be Rendon, who's been busy today in his start at second base. This is he's a 3-range second baseman, a 315. Rendon 315 means you are out. And so Jason Worth is the first out here in the 6th inning. Al Red Sox fan doing his nightly thing and hitting hay while he listens to me. And for that, I am much appreciative. The thumbtack delay is the worst delay of all, because it could come back again and hook me in the foot. Henley Ramirez now, he's 0 for 2. It's a 6-12, and he is the DH. And so a 6-12 is the DH. This is going to be a first base X chance. So the first baseman is Mark Reynolds, and we'll settle the injury here for 1 minute. After 1 minute here. So Reynolds is a first baseman 3. And first base 3. We rolled an 11, so that's going to go to his E rating. It's an E12, and we rolled a 10. So Mark Reynolds, he makes the diving grab, and he throws it over to first, but Herron coming up lame as he tries to cover the base, and the throw goes wild, and Hanley Ramirez will be aboard via the error. Kind of an unfortunate error for Mark Reynolds. It wasn't really his fault. Herron was late getting to the bag, and we're going to have to check the injury for Dan Herron. So we rolled a 6-12 with the DH up, which invokes a very a rare rule that I don't know that I've seen it so far in this league, and that'll be the pitcher injury. So we're going to roll for him after he tried to cover the bag and couldn't make it. So that'll be a 1-game injury for him. So he's going to have to come out, and he's not going to miss a start, but he will be out for a game. Now, I have a question for all you veteran Strat players. When you get a pitcher injury, if it's a 1-game injury or less than 5 games or whatever, do you consider that a 1-start injury for a starting pitcher? Or is it still 5 team games for you? I do it the team game thing, but I see the merit in giving it a start injury, because I mean, he's out for the rest of the game, which kind of sucks, but if he's already in the 6th, he was going to get pulled anyway this inning. But I'd like to see what you guys think. Leave me a message in the comments or the live chat here, the way you handle the pitcher injury. So Dan Herron is going to have to come out of the ball game, and we will go to the bullpen and bring out, it'll be Brandon Maurer. So Maurer, with 1 out, has Hanley Ramirez at first base, Gerardo Parra at the plate, and Grichuk and Norris following him. I put the Heron injury on the wrong team, didn't I? Chris Lamoth, welcome into the chat. I don't know that I've seen your name here before. He chimes in saying he just read up on the pitcher injury rule tonight, so he's probably got it more fresh in his mind than I do. I'll freely admit that since I don't see it much, I hardly remembered, and I'm surprised I did in that spot. It would be very easy just to forget that rule happened and play through it, but somehow I remembered that Ramirez was the DH and we rolled a 6-12. Heron is out the remainder, +1. And okay, so Brandon Maurer comes in to face Hanley Ramirez. I didn't finish writing his name down. I think the thumbtack has I'm distracted because I feel like I'm going to get stabbed in the foot. And Heron, he went 5 1/3 before he had to come off. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And he's responsible for that out there, but it wouldn't be an earned anyway. So he gave up 3 runs. He struck out 4. And did he walk somebody? He did. He walked 1. Okay, so Maurer takes over here in the the top of the 6th with Hanley Ramirez on first and Gerardo Parra at the plate. It's a 4-11, and Maurer walks Gerardo Parra. So Ramirez gets pushed to second on the walk to Parra. Chris is new to Strat in these channels. Awesome stuff. Hey, man. Your life will never be the same, Chris. Happy to have you joining in. This is a fun community. Everybody say hello to Chris and make him feel welcome. Strat-O-Matic is awesome, and welcome to the community. Happy to have you here. Randall Grichuk is at the plate. He's 0 for 2. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And this will be a strikeout. So Maurer walks a man, comes back to get Grichuk to strike out, and there's 2 away. Derek Norris now is the last hope here for Tampa in the top of the 6th. 2 outs, 2 men aboard. Norris is one of their better hitters right now, so a good spot for him. He hits one hard, but right at the second baseman, Rendon. And that will be the 3rd out. Couldn't have hit it in the worst place, just right at Rendon, who didn't even have to move. And he snags it more out of suspense than anything. And Maurer gets out of the 6th. And here we go. Andrew Kashner with the bottom of the 6th. He's retired 10 in a row. Rivera, he's 0 for 1. Kashner is rolling. It's a 3-5, and Rivera swings and misses. That's a strikeout. The 3rd one for Kashner on the day. Mike McAllister succinctly wraps up what Strat-O-Matic is. He says, "Hi, Chris. This game is a drug." Yeah, it is. Brett Gardner, he's 1 for 2 on the day, and against Kashner here, it's a 1-4, and he bounces one back to Kashner. Kashner picks this one cleanly and fires it over to first for the 2nd out. Jerry doesn't play injuries except in certain projects. That makes sense. I mean, if you want to see the best players and not have to worry about lineups and stuff, that makes total sense. Especially in short seasons, I totally get that. Beltran now, base is empty, 2 outs here against Cashner. It's a 3-9, and this one is going to be another 1-2-3 inning as Beltran dribbles one over to Crawford, and he charges on it and throws to first. And Cashner is through the 6th. It's a 3-0 ball game as we move to the top of the 7th. Jerry also says he uses a 1 missed start. Is that a minimum? So anything rolled underneath a 14 and underneath, you would go a 1 missed start. I like that. I mean, I guess I would go 5 to 14. If anything in that 5 to 14 range would be a 1 missed start. I may have to write that down because actually, you know what? That idea just came to me, and I'm on a whiteboard, so why would I not write that down? 5 to 14 on a pitcher injury would be 1 missed start. I like that. I may have to write that on the book so I don't forget. I'm not going to do it for this league because I've already started it one way, but I like that for anything else. Okay, Colton Wong now to lead off the 7th. This is the 4th time through the lineup. He's 2 for 3. He's got a run scored as well. This is a 2-2, and Colton Wong gets a hold of it. This is a ballpark home run chance, 1-13. This one's hit deep out to right field, and it's going to die out there. The right fielder, Torrey Hunter, tracks it down, and there's one away. Wong thought he had it. He was in his trot, not even at first base. He had slowed way down and was looking at that ball the whole way. But Brandon Crawford, who did hit a home run back in the 4th, is the man at the plate. He drove in 2 runs, including Wong, on that long shot. And this one will be a strikeout. So Brandon Maurer with his 2nd strikeout. There's 2 away here. Chris Bryant is the man at the plate. He's 0 for 3 today, dropping his terrible average even worse. It's a 6-10. A 6-10 is a ballpark single chance, and Bryant, knowing his luck and the tough roll that it's going to be, a 1-6, will not get this one, and it's a 19, so not even close. The shortstop makes a jump for it, and Xander Bogaerts makes it look easy, climbing the ladder to make that play. And we reach the stretch. It's a 3-0 ball game. So, as you can tell, and as Al Red Sox fan said in the chat, thank you for the note here, there's a little drama going on with the YouTubes and Al Red Sox fan. They suspended his live streaming account, and for reasons that they said was spam. We all know Al Red Sox fan, and the only thing he's spamming is live games all the time. He's always on, and I'm much appreciative that he is. So, YouTube, if you're watching, let Red Sox fan free. The guy's providing great content for us strat heads and seam heads and sim heads, and we appreciate what he does. So, YouTube, free Al Red Sox fan. All right, we reach the bottom of the 7th. Houston looking to get those bats rolling. It's a 3-0 ball game, and Andrew Cashner is rolling. Will he continue it here? His pitcher inning of weakness is the 6th inning, so any consecutive, or not consecutive, any accumulation of 3 hits or walks, and he will be a weak pitcher, but Xander Bogaerts leads off the bottom of the 7th with a fly ball out to left field, and Jason Worth has it, puts it away. Chris Lamoth says, it's great. I played some basic games and now trying his hand at advanced. You know, my 8-year-old son now, it's hard to say he's 8, just had his 8th birthday. I think it was last weekend. He asked me, he's like, hey, Papa, I want to play some Strat-O-Matic with you. So we broke it out, and he's never really wanted to play before, so we broke it out, and I figured we'd start with basic. Oh my gosh, it was hard for me to even remember how to play basic. I've played so much advanced. I had to bring the rule book upstairs to reference the rule book. Wait, is this basic or is this advanced? I can't remember. So it was a learning experience for me as well. But I find my niche here in advanced. I never really got the itch to play super advanced, but I do like the ballpark, as you can tell, the ballpark effects. So good luck, Chris. I hope you are having fun with it. All right, so the bottom of the 7th, Justin Turner will lead off. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And Kashner will face him. This is a 2-7. Said Turner was leading off, but we already have an out here. I'm getting distracted. I'm excited that we have a new Strat player in Chris, so my distraction is that. But Turner, he dribbles one to short, and Crawford will make the throw across the diamond, and there's 2 away. So Anthony Rendon, who is 0 for 2 as well, and he will face Kashner here, and Kashner finally doesn't get an out. He gives a walk away to Anthony Rendon, and that snaps the streak of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 straight, no, 15 straight retired from Andrew Kashner with a walk to Anthony Rendon. Torrey Hunter now trying to take advantage of the walk to Rendon. And it's a 4-12, and not going to be this time. He gets him to swing and miss, and no harm done from that 2-out walk. It's a strikeout, the 4th one on the day for Kashner, and he's clean through 7. We move to the top of the 8th. Tampa hasn't done much since the 5th inning, but it continues to be a 3-0 ball game. Maurer he will continue. He will face Manny Machado, Jason Worth, and Hanley Ramirez. Machado, he's going to hit one to second. Anthony Rendon, who I feel like has made every single play against the Tampa Bay offense. And I still can't remember his range rating. He's a 312. And that's going to go to his E rating. So an E12. Oh no, we rolled a 2. That's going to be bad news. An E12, we rolled a 2. Alright, so he's got a 50-50 shot here on 1 to 3, and it's an error. Of 4 to 6, and it's going to be a nice play. It's a 3, so Rendon commits another error. And the spot start at second base is kind of turning out to be a bad idea. Rendon with another error, and Machado reaches. So Rendon is 0 for 2 at the plate, and 2 errors in the field. Now it'll be Jason Worth, who's walked, and 0 for 2 otherwise. And it's a 2. This is going to be a good 2. This is going to be a base hit. It's going to be a single, 2 stars. So Worth pokes one out to the outfield. It goes between 2 outfielders before they can grab it. Machado moseys on over to third. And Tampa has something going here. The first 2 batters have reached. And now there's Hanley Ramirez up with no outs here. And they're going to have to go to the bullpen. And they're going to get Junichi Tazawa. Junichi Tazawa comes on to replace Brandon Maurer. Tazawa has had some pretty good numbers this year. But let's take a look at Mauer's first. He went 1 2/3 innings. No, wait. That's one. Yeah, 1 2/3 innings. He gave up 1 hit, struck out 2, and he walked 1. Okay, so Junichi Tozawa. And this will be a 6-7, and this is going to be a grounder to second base. Will they be able to turn 2 and get out of it? The second baseman, guessed it, it's Anthony Rendon. He has a chance to make up for it and get out of this inning, an inning that he created the trouble with. It's a 3-18. That's a ground ball A, so Rendon snags it on the backhand, wheels and fires over to Bogarts. Bogarts over to the first baseman Reynolds, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. That doesn't get him out of the inning, but it gets 2 outs. The run will score. That's Manny Machado, but they got 2 big outs there. So the run scores. No RBI for Ramirez, but it's a 4-0 ball game. Tozawa does as good as he can, gets the 2 outs, and now Parra comes up with the bases empty. And this will be a grounder over to first. Reynolds handles it, and he'll step on the bag. And we move to the bottom of the 8th. Tampa tacks on another one. You see what I did there? Tacks on. I'm sorry. It's late. And when it's late, I just can't resist the puns. I'm sorry. Andrew Cashner now. We'll look to stick it to Houston once again. Reynolds, Cabrera, and Rivera up. And Mark Reynolds will be the man at the plate. I see Jerry Ball say, "Very cool, Mike. Us veterans must stick together." Does that mean military veterans? Did I miss something? I'm trying to scroll through. I missed the song. I missed the 7th inning stretch song. Hopefully you sang it at home. Mark Reynolds leads it off here in the 8th. It's a strikeout against Mark Reynolds. That is his first strikeout of the day, surprising enough. He's 1 for 3 now. Melky Cabrera continued to struggle at the plate. He's 0 for 2. And would they replace him? No, I remember looking before the game. There's no other outfield options other than Chris Davis. Chris Davis is a left field 4 with a +3 arm. So we're going to have to stick with Cabrera. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And this one might be a hit. And no, this one's hit out to left field. Jason Worth tracks it and catches it. There's 2 away. I have to sing the song every time. I don't think you want to hear me singing, Mike. That may be trouble for everybody. Your speaker, your stereo might break. Rene Rivera 0 for 2 on the day. 4-2. This one's hit out to center field. No trouble at all for Grichuk, who's slides over and makes it. And Houston just really has not had anything going with the bats. They've got one more shot, but the momentum is not on their side. It's a 4-0 ball game as we go to the top of the 9th. Tozawa will keep going. He got all 3 outs in the last inning after Mauer ran into trouble. And now he'll face Grichuk, Norris, and the leadoff man, Wong. Grichuk is 0 for 3 on the day. And this will be a second base X chance And second base is Anthony Rendon again. Oh my gosh, how many plays has he made after the game? I'm going to have to count that. Rendon is a second base, 3 range. A 314 is going to be a good play. So Rendon being tested in all kinds of ways today. This one was hit up the middle, and he's up to the task. That'll be 1 out. We now have Mike McAllister in the live chat, hoping that that tack pokes me. Well, your wish is probably going to come true when I get up the chair. Derek, 140. All because I wouldn't sing the 7th inning song. And this is going to be a ballpark single chance. Derek Norris could have a second hit of the day, and not going to happen this time. It's a tough, tough chance here in Houston, and that'll be a line out to short. So 2 outs now, and Colton Wong will come up for the 5th time. He's 2 for 4. That average is climbing for Wong. And a 3-5 will be a dribbler over to his opposite number, Anthony Rendon, at second. And Rendon makes the play, and looks like he needs some Gatorade after all those chances out in the outfield. We move to the bottom of the 9th. It's a 4-0 ball game. Andrew Kashner looking to shut the door here and get out of here with another victory. Andrew Kashner will face the top of the order to do so. It'll be Brett Gardner, Carlos Beltran, and Xander Bogaerts. 2 hits out of 9 tries for that threesome. And Brett Gardner, the 6-7, and he'll draw a walk. So a leadoff walk for Gardner. And now Carlos Beltran. Beltran is grounded into a double play and grounded out to third and grounded out to short. Looking to not get into the double play. And let me double check. So it's a -1. So Gardner is an A stealer. They're holding him. So a 1-13 will be a 1-12. Would Gardner steal here? Beltran is grounded out so many times. I think he might. He's going to take off. So a stolen base attempt for Brett Gardner here in the 9th inning. A 1-12, and he makes it. It's a 10. And he slides under the tag. Probably an ill-advised stolen base. But he stays out of the double play. And now Carlos Beltran has a runner in scoring position. What can he do with it? This is a catcher X chance. Catcher X chance. The catcher is Norris. He's a 2-range catcher. So a 2-5 is a wild pitch. So that'll move Gardner over to third on the wild pitch. And then it'll be a pop-up. So Norris is going to make the play out in front of the plate. But Carlos Beltran, I guess in a way, advances the runner to third. So Kashner with 1 out now. Gardner stole second, advanced on a wild pitch to third. And now Bogaerts, who's 1 for 3 on the day. They'll leave the infield back. They're just trying to get out of it. Kashner would like that shutout. Will he be able to get it? This is a ground ball, third base B. No advancement from Gardner. The third baseman, Machado, is going to look him back and fire it across. So there's 2 outs. It'll be up to Justin Turner to keep the ball game going. Gardner, he's at third, looking to score. This is as far as they've had somebody on base. Torrey Hunter, I guess he kind of was there. He got thrown out at home. But Gardner standing on third. He's the first one to stand there. And Justin Turner with 2 outs facing Andrew Kashner. It's a 3, which is a good column for him. It's a 3-2, and that's going to be popped up to the third base side. Machado makes the play over there. Is he going to have room? Yes, he will. That's going to be a foul out to third. And Andrew Kashner goes the full 9 and gets the shutout in consecutive games. So, if I'm correct, let me double check here. Tampa Bay pitching. Let's see here. Andrew Kashner. Yeah, his last game, he had pitched a 6-hit shutout. And here he goes again with another one. Andrew Kashner, 2 straight shutouts to start the season here for Tampa Bay. He wins this one 4-0. So a tidy game for Kashner. At one point, he had sat down 15 in a row. Tampa Bay gets a strong start from Andrew Kashner, and you got to think that he's the player of the game, right? If you have any other convincing nominees, let me know. If not, it'll be Andrew Kashner. He goes 9 innings, gives up 1, 2, 3 hit shutout. Well, I guess you have to give it to him then. He struck out 5 and he walked 3. But for the tabletop veterans, Jerry Ball and Mike McAllister, this has been a fun game, and I appreciate you guys being here. If you're going to jump out now, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and definitely let me know in the comments who your MVP is. It's got to be Kashner, but let me know anyway. Statistician was here, Al Red Sox fan was here, Mike McAllister, Jerry Ball, and the new guy, Chris Lamoth. If I'm saying that incorrect, I'm sorry. Maybe it's Lamothe, One of those. I appreciate you being here. Tack. McAllister really wants me to step on this tack. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to post that tack. I'm going to post it where it lies. I'm going to take a picture of it and post it on my Twitter page over at RNGIDP_Strat. Just for you, Mike. But thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna tally up these stats here and continue on for another couple minutes. Our next broadcast, and by our, I mean mine, because I'm the only one here that's doing this, will be the Seattle Marill and Jason Samardzija on the hill, traveling to Kansas City to take on, is that Jeff Locke? Kansas City is not good. They are last in the AL. They sit at 2-11, and Seattle is third in the league. They sit at 8-5. So that one looks a little bit lopsided on paper, but it should be fun regardless, and I hope you join me for that one. So let's take a look at these stats here. Kashner gets the win. He moves to 2-0. Both shutouts. Dan Herron takes the loss. Mauer, he gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. Tazawa goes the rest of the way. He went 1 2/3. Wait, no, he went 1 and actually he went 2 innings because I forgot that he got that out there. So he goes 2 innings. And he gave up no hits, no runs, no earned runs. And he struck out nobody and didn't walk anybody. So a whole lot of nothing. Dan Herron takes the loss. Herron, I believe, moves to, well, that's his first decision. He's 0-1. And that'll do it here. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. And Mike McAllister says, call a good game. Well, hey, thank you. I believe that's a compliment, and I appreciate that. So, Chris Lamoth, I hope to see you again here. I hope to see you back again, and welcome to the community. Jerry Ball, thank you as usual, and to all the rest of you. Ken Castro just popped in. Yeah, you're late. You just missed it. Don't look. Don't look. Don't spoil it. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thanks again, and have a good night.